we dropped a tough one there on Saturday, and after going back and looking at the game, just like I love how hard our players played, made a lot of mistakes, but we were able to go compete. And as bad as we played, I told our guys yesterday in the meeting, as bad as we played, guys, we still had our opportunities to go win that football game. And now we're coming back home, been away from home for a month, and just looking for our crowd and getting our fans just come on out and support this football team. We dropped some tough ones, but we still need the support, and we know that we have an unbelievable group of fans here. And I know this, that they're going to show up and just show how much they care about this team and how much they do support it.
Question.
Coach, the sometimes the fan base around here, they still have in their mind, it's just Iowa State. I know you guys aren't in a position to take anybody for granted, but I mean, Iowa State, what they've done the last 2 times, what they did last year, I'm sure they have your full attention, right?
Well, you even look at what they did Saturday. They were up 31-14, and Oklahoma State were able to come back. Threw some deep balls on them, got back in the game. But you can't take any team for lightly, and it doesn't matter who it is, because within this conference, everyone's very competitive, and we just got to make sure that we go out and go compete and make sure we get the support.
On the right, Jim.
Charlie, what's going on with Devontae Davis? Looked like he was really coming on last year, and then this year it's been a struggle. Is it the change in the position coach? I know Vaughn was really popular. What is it?
No, it's more of just going and just you have to work at it, Chip, and you have to get better. And it starts at practice, and it goes from practice to the game, and you just can't give up the deep ball. You look at the one that he gave up. Quarterback is scrambling around, and the guy runs a post route, then he just goes vertical on him, and just keep your eyes on the coverage and get him out of the backfield. That happens a lot, not only with him, but a lot of our defensive back where they're losing their eyes, and once you lose your eyes, you're going to lose the man. I always say if he's even, he's leaving. So we just got to make sure that we take our focus, and whenever we're in man coverage, just focus on your man. I don't need any help with you stopping the run. Just make sure we cover.
Charlie, after looking at the offensive tape, what did you see about getting the 4 turnovers but only the 3 points? What did you think of that, and specifically Shane as he continues to grow and mature? What did you just think of his play overall after breaking down film?
Well, you look at it, and you're right. The first half is different what we've been in the previous games. We played really well in the first half, and in the second half we haven't been able to move the ball, just score the points. We moved the ball, haven't been able to score the points. But you look at the start of that game there on Saturday, and what they did. They did a good job of just defensively, of just defending us, and we took our shots at 7. He knocked down the first one that Shane threw down the boundary to 1. 7 goes up and makes an unbelievable play, knocks away the ball, and had him open a couple of other times, and he just lost his eyes downfield and he scrambled around. But you look at him bounce back the second half, and he made some unbelievable throws. Threw a good one there to Dorian down the sideline, and same, and he went out to 7 again, who's an unbelievable corner. And then he was able to hit Duvernay down the middle for a touchdown. And the thing with him is people see that he's a freshman, and they try to throw a lot at him, and they try to mix up the coverages and want to make sure that he sees a lot of different things. But he did a great job as the game went on of handling it and bouncing back. And we just we didn't get off with our run game very well. We were able to go to our swoops package, and they stopped us where they ran a backer through, and we just didn't gap back to block the backer. But just the way we came out the second half and the way we were able to put points on the board was just a great job of getting the halftime adjustments of what they were doing to us.
Coach, seems like the 18-wheeler package is struggling a little bit. Are you going to have to diversify or at least threaten the pass in order to keep that package working?
Yeah, Sean, we have the pass with it, Sean, and he can throw the football. What they did is they overloaded the box. So what we're seeing a lot of is just zero coverage, where they're loading the box, and outside they're just playing the corners, man, and they're playing really tight. So we probably do it, and I think we're gonna make some changes to it where we can, because we've been successful with it, and people, everyone have seen it, and if you see it enough, people can adjust to it, and that's what they were able to do on Saturday.
Coach, Deontay Foreman has been pretty spectacular. When did he When did you see the change in him that you thought he could be a back that was this good over a long stretch of time?
You know, it may have started a year ago against Oklahoma when he made a big run down there sideline. And, you know, the key with him was just staying healthy. And now that he's been healthy, I think he's had, 6 games where he's had over 100 yards. And he is just so strong. And as the game goes on, he just gets stronger and stronger. You look at there Saturday, I think he played 60 snaps. And Warren, when I had Warren, you know, it can help him where he doesn't have to play so many snaps, and he really would have been fresh, but he just kept pounding. And when we needed yards, and I told him, I said, heck, sometimes we don't even block it the right way. He just finds a way where he can bounce back outside and drop his pads and just run through people. But he is special, and he's an outstanding player.
Coach, you talked about some mental lapses after the game. Now that you've watched the film, have you gone back and able to pinpoint some of those instances? The Chris Boyd, when he kind of blew that coverage, comes to mind. And what have you said to the players that have made those mental errors?
Well, anytime, Tyler, you give it the big plays, it is a mental lapse, and you just can't lose your coverage, especially when you're in man coverage. And a lot of it has to do with just when someone breaks down your cushion, you got to know when to turn and flip and make sure that you keep your eyes in when to – because a lot of times when the ball goes up, receivers' eyes get big because they see the ball coming. All you have to do is just track their eyes, and if you keep your eyes on them, they will let you know when the ball is in play, when you can go make the play on the ball. But you just can't have mental lapses in big games. I mean, you look at the 3 pass plays, they were really big. I think they had 6 pass plays for over 200 yards, where it was just, you know, where guys just losing their coverage.
Charlie, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but the other day, Kirk Herbstreit asked why any coach would want to work in the cesspool of Austin where coaches aren't supported. Do you feel like you've been supported here and that you've gotten a fair shake at everything you've tried to accomplish here?
You know what it is, Mike? I don't hear half of the conversations, and my whole focus is this football team and just making sure that if I take care of business, everything else will take care of itself. And you know what? We got 7 left here right now. We need to get that done, and you know, the support is there. We just got to make sure that we do our part.
Charlie, just getting back to the defensive backs, because you were talking about them throwing the ball over your head, and I could see if it was like an all-out blitz and single coverage, but it seemed like even a couple times DBs just kind of stopped in the middle of the patterns and that sort of thing. I mean, how do you fix something like that? Where do you start breaking it down?
And you know what's amazing about that, Chuck, is we throw deep balls. So they go against our defensive backs every day at practice because that's what we do, and we air it out. And we're at practice, we make the plays on the ball. And so you like to see that goes from the practice field to the game field, which it hasn't. And you just can't stop. You can't stop in the middle of a route, and you just got to play till the whistle blows. You know, a lot of times, like if you take the one play, Baker scrambling around, and then he gets to the outside. And we knew this. We needed to keep him in the pocket because if he ever gets outside, he's going to sling it, and it's going to go deep, and which he did. You know, defensive back lost his coverage, and the guy got open. And then the one down our sideline, Chris kind of froze, and then the ball goes up, and then it's too late. Then you got to go track down the receiver. But it's just a matter of you know, continue to work on it. And we throw, like I said, at practice, we throw 1 million deep balls, and they see it each and every day because that's what our offense is.
Coach, there was a lot of high hopes for John Burt heading into the season. He seems to be struggling a little bit, seems to be able to get open, but he has a lot of drops and even had one on a crucial 3rd down. Is there anything going on with him? Was it injuries or maybe just spending a little bit too much time at track? What can you say to that?
No, track had nothing to do with it, and it's just you know, sometimes guys have those drops, but you know, the great thing that we have that position is very competitive now. Now you have Doran Leonard who's there and who's making the plays for us. So even with John, and he'll come out of it because he's such a good player. So he may have a drop or so, but he's going to be able to fight his way out of it. And but you look at you look at Leonard now and look how well he's playing, and it's all about confidence with wide receivers and just making sure. It's the same thing with DBs. You know, keep your eye on the ball, look the ball in, and you make that catch. You know, the big one that was that 3rd down, we were driving and it was wide open, and he dropped it, and then we had to give up the punt. But you know, I look at that position right now. It's a lot of guys that are playing well and very competitive.
Charlie, what do you say to your fans, some of whom are running short on hope over these last 3 weeks?
Well, you know what, Said we've been away for a month. We got 7 games left. This is their football team, and we have a young team, and you need support, and we need our fans to come out and support this football team. You know, you can't be a fair weather fan. You're either in it, we're going to be in it. We're not going to give up hope. We're going to continue to play hard. We're going to continue to fight hard, and we just need their support and just come on out. You're looking at a team that has a lot of really good football players, and a team is going to make it interesting, and a team's going to score some points, and it's going to be exciting to watch. I mean, if I'm a fan, I'm going to come and watch it because I see what I have and the direction that it's heading. And that's what's key, because you look at the mistakes that we made. We made some mistakes, but still, though, it shouldn't be mistakes to keep our supporters away.
Yeah, you had 1 week as defensive coordinator calling the shots. I wondered how you felt that went as far as logistically, and I don't guess Vance said anything to you.
Oh, well, it didn't go good. We lost that game, but you know what? We just, as a defensive staff, we just got to continue to work, and I have a really good staff, and we'll get it fixed. And you know, just key thing is just making sure that you know you get guys in position to go make plays and let them make plays and put our right players out there. Oh, did I enjoy it? Yeah, I mean, it was going back to those old days. No, but it was, because you know you call them and then you had to go right back. You got to transfer your mind right back to offense. But like I said, I have a good staff, and we had put together a really good plan.
Coach, we haven't really talked much about Anthony Wheeler. He's had a great season for you. You know, Malik gets all the attention, but Wheeler's leading this team in tackles. Talk about him a little bit, please.
You know, he's kind of one of those guys who just quietly just goes about the game, and you look up at the end of the game and you look at his stats, and you see a guy that, he ended up with 10 tackles, 3 assists, a forced fumble. Or he's always in the stat book, and he's playing very well, but he doesn't say much at all, doesn't even want the attention. He just goes about his work. Even at practice, he doesn't say anything. You wouldn't even know he's out there because he doesn't talk, and you look up and there he goes making another play or running down a running back. But the thing about him is he's an outstanding player, and he probably doesn't get the credit that he really deserves because he works very hard.
Charlie, how much did you try to change things on defense? Was it situational play calling? Was it developing schemes during the week, personnel decisions? How much was different this week under you as defense coordinator versus Vance?
You know what I try to do, Jim, is try to dictate the flow of the game, and how you do it is just you got to bring pressure, and you just got to make the call at the right time. Like I'm so driven with hash marks because I just feel like on certain hash marks that offenses want to do certain plays on certain hash marks, and that's what I kind of look at, and then just field position, and because what you don't ever want to do is give up the bomb. The one that right before, and I like to have that call back to one that Westbrook caught right down the middle on Devontae. The ball was in the middle of the field, and I was sitting there saying, God, I wish I had a hash mark call because I would have brought pressure, and you always want to bring it to the quarterback's throwing hand, and I would have brought it off the boundary and right into his playing hand. But it's all situational, and you just got to have it's the flow of the game that you have to get involved with. You just got to make sure that you stay with the flow of the game, and just put pressure. And I'm a pressure guy, and I love playing man coverage. If it's up to me, I play man every down, and just bring as much as I can, and see if our guys can go make plays.
All right, Chip.
Charlie, how did you change practice to accommodate the offense and still get what you needed defensively, whether it was against your own offense or scout? And then Deontay Foreman, some positives on the special teams, the return game. He's been playing well and apparently said something to the team after the game. Your thoughts on Armonte and what he said?
What we do at practice is, we'll go individual right away, and then we always go an inside period, and we're going to go inside good on good so that the offensive line can block against our defensive line, and is really good, and you bang it out, and the offense get a certain number of plays, and the defense get a certain number of plays. And as soon as we break that, then we go back scout work, and then we always end practice where it's good on good. where the offense get a certain amount of plays and the defense get a certain amount of plays where it's fast, where you're going against good fast tempo. And that way it ends up. And always in the middle of practice is going to be 7-on-7 is good on good. When we go pass scale, it's good receivers against good DBs because you got to get the flow of the game, and that's the way the game is played on Saturday, and it's played fast, and it's good for our quarterbacks because he's going to see a lot of different coverages and a lot of different things are going to come at him. You know, Amani did really well in the kicking game there on Saturday. You know, and the first one, you know, we opened up the game, and we kick it off, but then when our first kickoff return, it was wide open. Probably would have took it to the house, but Beck did an unbelievable job. He hit his guy, and he knocked him on the ground. So when he knocked him on the ground, the alley closed because the alley was open. And I was laughing at Beck. I said, any other time you would have never knocked the guy down. I mean, the guy would have ran around you, but he knocks the guy down, just plants him, and then Monty's running through, and he has a lead blocker with 19 leading them through, with Brandon leading them through. And probably it would have been interesting. It would have got to him and the kicker and just see if he would have made a move. And then you see the punts. He was able to get underneath the punts and make the catches where we didn't lose yardage. But he's an emotional guy, and you know, at the end of the game, he has something to say because he's playing so well right now. A guy that's really changed, and not only him, you know, Dorian Leonard's another one that's playing so well right now. Because you look at that group of guys, and I told Charlie and Jeff that they've done a great job. You know, Jake Oliver's playing well. You know, you look at Duvernay goes in there and just runs past people. He put it in another gear when Shane laid that one out. I thought Shane had overthrown him, and he just looked like he put it in another gear and went and tracked it down. And then Colin dropped it one, but he was able to bounce back and make a big catch. But the receivers are very competitive. And now I'm going to get Petey back so to get even more competitive. And you just like the way those guys are working. The ball may not come to them, but they know at some point they're going to get their opportunity.
Charlie, what can this defense do to get a little better inside the red zone and defending once the team gets into inside the 20?
You know what we need to do, Danny? We had the ball down there, and we got him to third down 3 times. And so when you get to third down, you have to get off the field, and we have to make a play. You know, the quarterback helped us on a quarterback draw, and we just had to get over, and then the guy just need to run down here and go hit the football. And then the other one is down in the goal line going in toward our band. It's a third down, and same thing. We just got to get underneath it. But it's mistakes that were made, but they were very correctable. And so now that you have a chance to look at it, it's a lot that we can do. And it is so much of, you know, just separating off blocks and then going and go make the play.
Charlie, I know coaches don't hope for things to happen. They want to make it, but your kicking game gets cleaned up. You force the turnovers. Your offense continues to produce. Do you and the staff wonder when it's all going to come together someday?
That's what we haven't done. All 3 phases. You look at the first half the other day, we played pretty well on defense, and then second half we played well on offense. It's just been like one half, it's one group, then the next half it's the next phase, and we just got to put it all together. And it's defensively, you know, if you look at defense, if you don't give up the big throws, then you're going to have a chance. It's all big throws that are hurting us right now. And because, you know, I always say to them, you have to take something away. So you have to make a team one-dimensional. So what are you making them? Are you stopping the run? So if you stop the run, you force them to throw the ball, then you have a chance. Now we can rally and get pressure on the quarterback and hope we can get balls hit and get balls tipped. But then if you allow them, where it happened Saturday, you look at the running back rush for 200 yards and had a receiver catch for 200 yards. And even with all those mistakes, you're still in the game. And you get the ball there, and the ball rolls out of quarterback's hand, and we had like 2 guys ran right past the ball, and then their lineman falls on it. I mean, that's a scoop and score. And I was hoping Haynes would get there because he was running to scoop and score, and I don't know if anybody would track him because all their guys are on one side of the field. But we do need to put it all together.
On the left, John.
Charlie, with everything else, performance of Deontay Foreman running the football has kind of gotten maybe just lost a little bit there. But when you look at what he gave you, especially him coming off the injury and Chris Warren being out, just put that in perspective, what he's given you this season.
Oh, it's I told him and I was talking after the game, and it's just you look at him and it's more of he's going to give you everything he's got because he's just going to battle. and he gets in those games, and it doesn't, it's maybe a 1 yard gain, maybe a 2 yard gain, and he just keep grinding, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a 6 yard pop, and then it's going to be a 20 yard pop, and he's a guy that he knows he can take it the distance, because if it ever breaks, I haven't seen. Yeah, last year he got ran down, but not too many people are going to catch him. Probably one of the fastest guys on our team at that size, and that's what no one realizes how strong and how fast he is. But it's fun to watch him, because you know that you're gonna get the yardage that you need, and if it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, just give it to him, because he's gonna find a way to get the first down, because he's not gonna stop until he does. But he's a guy that works very hard. He carries himself the right way, does everything you ask him to do, but is such a competitor.
On your right, Anwar.
Coach, the guys talk about every week that you work on tackling drills with them all the time in practice. And you work on, the eye on the ball on defense, and you switch personnel, and you have Vance help out in the DBs. At what more can you do? Because it seems like you're trying everything, and it just doesn't seem to be coming together.
I was thinking back the other, after the game, and I was sitting there on the bus. When you lose a game, everything goes through your mind, and I was kind of thinking back. I've been in this situation before. And it's just got to be one of those where you just got to continue you throw the deep balls at practice. You got to continue. Everything is about fundamentals and technique. It's a fundamental game. And I told her guys, it's a simple game that we make so complicated. When the guy who's really improved his tackling is 31, Jay Hall. Man, he comes down through there and he undercut guys. He gets guys on the ground. But, as far as searching the ball, it's why we do it every day, and that's why we go against our offense, and that's why we throw the deep ball. And we go out there at practice, and they'll knock down every ball. It's like we can't complete one at practice, and then we get into a game. But you know what? At practice is such a short window, and it's him going against him, and so it gets a lot competitive. But when you get it in a game, you just can't. You can't ever relax, and you can never relax. Each play it's like, hey, you got to play this play, and then worry about the next one. Play this play, and that's what we just got to get them going to, and just got to continue. You got to continue to preach it, and you got to continue to coach it.
Charlie, Malik talked last weekend after the game about how he thinks there's kind of a fun factor missing with the defense. Is that, and obviously when you give up 40 points a game, that's not very fun, but is that something that you address in practice to make sure just guys aren't getting down, and how do you fix that in a game when you give up a score and you need guys to just rally right away?
Well, what happens when one phase is playing well and another phase isn't playing well, and everything you always hear is about the one phase that isn't playing well. It's not a lot of fun, and it's not a lot of fun when you're not playing well. And it just comes back, and I tell guys all the time, you want to make it fun, then we got to play together, and we got to play a lot better than what we're playing. And then it will get a lot of fun for you. But it's sometimes when you've never been in that situation before, when it's always been the other side instead of your side, then now it's your side. Yeah, it's not much fun.
From the middle, Kirk.
Charlie, your team had a rough game at Iowa State last year. Did you go back and look at that tape, or just burn it, or what do you do?
You know what, Kurt? It's a different team. Iowa State is, and but the memories are there. And we didn't play well. I mean, we walked in there, and it's just I think we had came back, we had beat Oklahoma, and then we had beat Kansas State. I think we won those two, and then we go there. And I told our guys, it was almost, you saw it coming, because before the game we're out there, and I think it may have been like a little dew on the grass or something. And they're like, oh, it's slippery. Okay, so we're going to worry about the grass, Okay, it's slippery on both sides, but you just it's something that we will talk about. But you know what, we just got to. We have a different team now, and this is a critical game for us, and we need to go play well. It's a conference game. We're coming back home, been away from home for a month, and we need to just get our fans back into it and make sure we play well.
Back right, Alex.
Charlie, with Deontay's particular skill set, does he remind you of any running back you've seen before, whether it's one you've coached or coached against?
Well, Emmett was on the sideline. I told him to go over and introduce himself to him, but I said, you're not Emmett, but he stands over there on the sideline. But no, I've been around some really good backs, and he just have a different skill set about him. And the thing you love about him is that, so I think that sometimes there's just a misconception about his speed, because no one really thinks that, they just see this guy who's really put together, and he's put together, he's packed in very well, and they just don't just realize just how strong and fast he is. That's why he can take the licks, protects his body very well, because you don't see him take many big hits, even when he's running down the middle, and he'll run down the middle on guys. But it's just fun to just watch him once he clears the line of scrimmage and gets in open field sometimes. Even with DBs come up and try to undercut him, you see him, sometimes he's able to stay on his feet, get a hand down, and that touchdown that he bounced off of, they hit him. They hit him at the point of attack, then he kept moving outside, and then he goes in for the score. But I just like just how he has such awareness, and he's able to see everything around him once he breaks the line of scrimmage where he can see it all, because his awareness is so well. And a guy that works hard, like he's a guy that he works hard at practice. He's not one of those guys that go into practice and kind of just goes through the motion. No, he really works on it, and he works on his game.
Charlie, have you ever thought about just the irony of you spent 2 years talking about the offense and the quarterbacks, and now
talking about the defense.
Not talking about defense, but 41 points per game is one of the highest totals in school history, and it's still not enough in this league.
And you know what? If you watch this league and you just watch, I don't know who's within this league. I don't know who's. I think Kansas State's playing really good defense, but it comes down to it's a matchup league, and it's a league where you look at it and even when we move to what we're doing right now on offense, if you watch what happens in high school, it carries over to college, because in high school is everyone's in a spread. They spread you out and they find the mismatches and they get the ball to those outs to the really good receivers. Because if you watch us match up, I mean, on one side you're going to have Bird or Doran Leonard, and then in the middle you're going to take Petey or Duvernay. Then on the other side you got Hurd, and then on the outside you got Money. So, I mean, how are you going to take 4 defensive backs and cover all those guys? Because it's a matchup problem. And so now you say, okay, we're going to play man. You're going to get beat somewhere, because those guys, they're just too good athletes and they're too skilled where they're just going to make a move and get past you. If your offensive line can hold up and the quarterback can get the ball and find out where the mismatch is, it's going to happen. You're going to score a bunch of points.
Why do you think this league specifically, everyone's gone all in with this type of offense?
Well, you got to stay in the game, because I just think if you don't have this type of offense, you're not going to be able to stay in the game. Because what it is, they're going to score, and if you can't match a score, it goes another score, and then you look at us, we're down we were down with 27. I think there was 44 to 27 at some point. Then boom, we get a score, and then we get another one. They hit the field goal. We're down 11 now. Then we get a score. Now we're only down 5. We go for 2. Now we're down 5. But you can get back in the game so quick, and then if you can beat people over the top, you look at what we threw over the top of them. Leonard runs by him. Duvernay runs by him. But it is tough. It is tough to find. It's almost like you got to make sure you got to stop something. So what are you going to stop? And we have a good running game. We can turn around, get a ball to our 2 big old backs, and and now you got to be able to stop the run. Are you strong enough up front to go match up outside? If you don't match up outside, then you got to load the box. Now if you load the box, we're going to throw the ball on top of you. But it is, and everybody's in this league is doing it. And I think that what happened was when people saw what Baylor and TCU was doing with lesser athletes, then boom, everybody else jumped on board, and then it kind of has taken off in this league.
Coach, you talked about fans not being fair weather fans, but do you understand their frustration here in year 3?
Oh, I truly do, John, because everybody wants to win in program. I really do, and I truly understand their frustration. But also, I look at it like this: that these players had, they signed on for this, but they signed on also to come to the University of Texas and get the support that they're going to get. And sometimes we don't play as well as we should, and I truly understand that. But still, though, we need their support, and we need them here. I mean, we have an unbelievable stadium there. As our fans all have seats there, so just come on out and watch us play. And because our kids, one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna play hard, and that's is something that we're not gonna do. Even to the very end, there's a Saturday. I mean, we're throwing the ball backwards and trying to move it up the field and everything. But we're gonna give everything we got, and we're gonna leave it out there. And we make mistakes, but it's not mistakes that we just all of a sudden we just want to go make, but we need their support. We need our fans, and you're right. And I see the frustration in year 3, but the whole thing is come and yell for Hager, come and yell for Bouchel. I mean, those guys want to hear it. Come and yell for Foreman. They want to hear it. They want to hear the noise, and they want to hear it. They want people to know that they really do appreciate what they're doing. And yeah, and we haven't played as well as we should, but still, though, the support should always be there.
Coach, I know we've asked you a lot in the last month about the confidence of your players. How much harder does it get? It's been a month to the day. September 10th was your last win. How much harder does it get week by week to keep their confidence level up, and what specifically can you do to keep it up?
You know, Bob, I think that when you go in the film room and then they see the game, like they watch the game after, like the Sunday after we play a game, then they realize, say, oh my God, you know, I didn't realize I played that bad, or if we had just did this. And you look at Saturday, you're a play or two away from winning that game, but it's almost like. And I tell them, I said, listen, I'm not going to quit on you, so don't you quit on me, and let's continue to play. And when you're having success in one phase, like in our offense, then you still have confidence, because those guys, hey, how many points it takes, we got to score. You just got to go score more, and that's what they're saying. And the defense got to realize, hey, now we got to go stop them. So you're still you'll be okay with the confidence, because even in the kicking game as well, I mean, we played very well on Saturday. I mean, it's probably the best we played since I've been here in the kicking game. And but so they haven't, and they don't, I guess they don't think about, you know, they just think about the next opponent, and not so much, hey, just put us a plan together, Coach, so we can go win.
Two last ones, Kurt, followed by Roger.
Yeah, Charlie, I wonder if the Notre Dame game feels like a year ago to you, and I was curious how you're holding it all together, and do you reach out to Lou or Urban for support?
It feels like 3 years ago. No, it's you know, it is, you just got to continue to just tell your team. You know, I tell our team all the time, I said that, you know, I said it's something that I teach you guys. It's something that you got to believe in. I said number one is you're in control of yourself. The decision you make, it's all in your control. So we can control however we want to go, because it's decisions that you're going to make. Next thing we talk about, you just go be the best. You know, go be the best off the field as well as on the field. You can do that each and every day. Just wake up. I just want to go be the best. And then the last thing I always talk to them about is just live in the moment. I mean, we don't know what's going to be down the road. We have no idea what's down the road. But let's just enjoy the time we have right now. Just live in the moment, guys. If you just do those things, then a lot of good things are going to happen for you. I'm fine, you know. I mean, because you know what it is, you're so competitive. So as a competitor, you want more. You want more things to happen for you, and it is not happening. And so the only thing you can do is just say, just continue to coach, just continue to just grind it out, guys. Eventually it's going to happen. Keep going. It's going to turn, guys. It will turn. Just got to keep working at it.
The middle last one, Roger.
Charlie, Iowa State comes in, you know, as frustrated as you guys. Lanning, you caught as a young guy, and Lazard, a big receiver, Warren, the back. What do they pose, and anything different now with Matt Campbell running it?
Yeah, you know what? They're playing two quarterbacks right now. They spread you out. So you're right. Lazard is outside, and it's the deep ball. So we're going to see if we can cover him. Tall receiver, throw the ball up to him. And Lanning played so well against us last year. And then we saw him for the first time. And then Warren, the running back, he rushed for 1,000. So he's still playing well. And what they do now is just with their offenses, they put guys in different places. So, you know, with Lazard, he's outside. They put him in the middle, and they just move him around. So it's where we got to be able to do is just find the receivers and just make sure that we just, as a defense, that we don't allow them to just get a position on us, or we get out position on defense, and just play well on offense. We've been playing well. We continue to play well on offense. And our kicking game, you know, with the punter, Mike is punting the ball so well, and then with Domain coming in, just make sure we give him a chance where he can make the field goals. You see where we block it. So if we block it, then he'll bang it out for us. So we just continue to improve and get better and just take it game by game. Got 7 left, and I tell our guys, hey, just let's get ready for this one. All right. All right. Thank you, guys.